Hi, I'm Adam with Let Us Try That. If you're on a low carb or a keto diet, you might be longing to eat the things that you used to eat but are no longer allowed to. Wouldn't it be great to have some delicious garlic bread? Well, you can. I originally found this recipe on delish.com and I'll link to their website below this video. This recipe is easy to make and it tastes fantastic, and I think anyone would be hard-pressed to be able to tell the difference between this keto-friendly garlic bread and real garlic bread. To make this recipe, you'll need mozzarella cheese, almond flour, cream cheese, garlic powder, baking powder, salt, 1 egg, butter, Parmesan cheese, 1 clove of garlic, and some parsley. If you don't have all of the ingredients, or if you'd like to add something else, you can make substitutions, but that's what's used in the original recipe. Okay, so we can start by preheating the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and lining a baking sheet with a piece of parchment paper so the dough won't stick once we put it in the oven. While the oven's heating up, we can get a microwave-safe bowl and we'll add 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. I don't mind if I get a little extra. Well, it looks like I had just about a cup ready to go. That was convenient. And to our 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, we'll also add a ½ cup of almond flour. Two tablespoons of cream cheese, which is about all I have left in this package. One tablespoon of garlic powder. A teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 large pinch of salt. I don't know how they define a pinch, but I'll do 2 pinches. Now we'll need to microwave this on high for about a minute or until all of the cheese melts. In my microwave, I usually put it in for a minute, stir it some, put it back in for another 30 seconds or so. So my ingredients so far are in the microwave. While that's in the microwave, I'm going to grab an egg because once the cheese is melted, we'll have to put an egg in and mix everything up. So that's ready to come out. Got my egg ready. But these cheeses are not going to be melted yet, so we'll give everything a stir, mix it up some, and I can put it back in just a little bit longer to make sure everything's melted. Although it looks like the cheese is fairly well melted. I think normally I'm thinking about when I make a fathead dough for a pizza crust, I have a little bit more cheese and it takes longer to melt, so looks like a minute did the trick. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add the egg. And then we'll mix it some more until everything is well incorporated. A lot of times I start this with a spatula and then I just go in there with my hands and mix everything, make sure everything is mixed well. Looks like I got a little piece of a shell on there. I don't want shells in my garlic bread. Okay, to make this a little faster and easier on myself, I'm just gonna go ahead and get my hands dirty. It is a little hot, so be careful with that. But I just want to keep mixing everything until it's not quite so wet. Right now, when I just put the egg in, it's very wet, but once you mix it, knead it a little bit, it's not quite as wet. And that's when we're ready to move on to the next step. When everything is fully mixed together, we can put the dough onto our baking sheet. So I'm just going to form this into an oval, and I want it to be about a ½ an inch thick. So now we're going to make a little bit of a seasoned butter mix to go on top. So in a small bowl, we're going to get a tablespoon of butter. It's got these little measurements on there, so that's handy. And we will melt this butter in the microwave. The butter is just about fully melted. There's one little piece that's still melting. And once we've got our melted butter, we'll add a tablespoon of grated Parmesan cheese, more or less. And now you can also add whatever other seasonings you like. In the original recipe, they mince up a clove of garlic really finely and add that, and then they add some freshly chopped parsley. I don't have any freshly chopped parsley or any cloves of garlic, so I'm just going to go ahead and do about a tablespoon of garlic powder. Maybe not quite a tablespoon, I don't think I need that much, a little less. And then in place of the parsley, I'm just going to add some Italian seasonings. Now if you have a little kitchen brush, you can mix this up. And then we can just spread it across the top of our dough. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. We'll just spread this evenly. I added kind of a lot of garlic. If you don't like so much garlic, if you have a little more butter and a little less garlic, this will spread with a brush very easily. But you can also just get in there with your hand or a spatula and spread it around that way. I just want to kind of evenly coat the top of the dough with our garlic and Italian seasonings and butter and Parmesan cheese mixture. So once you're done with that, this now is ready to go into the oven for about 15 to 17 minutes or until it starts to turn golden brown. So I won't bore you with any of that. I'll just put this in the oven and clean up a little bit.
A few moments later.
Okay, it's ready to come out of the oven. And you can see it's nice and golden brown. So at this point, you can cut it up and eat it as is, or you can dip it in a nice keto-friendly marinara sauce or something like that. So to cut it up, I just use a pizza cutter. The pan is still hot, so I don't want to touch that, but I can touch the parchment paper. There you go. Now you've got like garlic breadsticks. Delicious, yummy, keto-friendly garlic breadsticks. And that's all there is to it. This recipe is pretty easy to make, and it really does taste fantastic. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it on social media. If you want to make sure you don't miss any future videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you want to make sure you don't miss any future videos, be sure to